and while they are against coup, in this particular case, there's an allegation of a coup. Of course, that is a different story altogether, whether it is real or phantom.
What's going on in Sierra Leone between the president and the former president? Is it a political difference? Are there what's this about the alleged coup? This charges on treason against former president by Koroma. Can you give us a little background into it and how we arrived at him seeking political asylum?
Yeah. First of all, there is a divide. I mean, Koroma is from the north, and then the current president is from the south. And it does appear like some sort of power tussle between both sides. If their intent on jailing
him. So it's less dangerous inside?
No, their intent on jailing him, keeping him under watch within. From whether or not he's planning any coup or anything, but his image seems to be, that's what the government is afraid of. And that's what is happening. And I think that, and I doubt that they will release him. You know, the conditions they give for the bail, you can see clearly, yes, you have a bail, but the Inspector General has to approve and he's under house arrest.
On the 29th of April 1992, yes, NPRC coup against the APC government of President Said Momo was led by Captain Valentine Strasser in a raging battle. That was a 25-year-old or 26-year-old that became president I was talking about.
Yes.
I was talking about the volatility. And when the disgruntled government soldiers complained of economic hardship and non-payment of salary, families of those who were executed by Biles NPR military junta had called on former President Koroma to arrest and put on trial those responsible for the extrajudicial killing of the 29 people, including Julius Maada Bio, who is now the president.
I was saying to myself, I tried to check online to see, is there something on the line? Because, you know, in every war, there are remote and immediate causes. And before you see the immediate, try and trace back the remote, which is what you just brought back. And I thank you for it, because I couldn't find it. You know, maybe I didn't, you know. So, and what has happened now, basically, is we can see where this is coming from. That there's an undercurrent. There's some sort of bad blood, because otherwise, there's no reason. You can sense some sort of vendetta building. You know, now that the current president is in power, he's like digging back and trying to get back his pound of flesh. And I think this just points out to where this is coming from. Because on the surface, if you look at it, why would you want to immediately, I mean, for a coup that Koroma condemned, or alleged coup or uprising, that Koroma openly condemned, why would you be quick to, you know, rope him in and arrest him and, you know, want to...
So do you think Maada Bio should pay back the favor? Because those requests to prosecute those 29 people, including Julius Maada Bio,
yes,
was not accepted by Koroma when he was in power. In fact, he let them be.
Yes.
And he chose the path of peace.
Yes.
So a lot of people ask that, why is Maada Bio now doing this to Ernest Bai Koroma, a man that had you in his hands that could have prosecuted you when you were in power, but he never did? Should this be the time for Maada Bio, apart from their political differences, to pay back the favor he did to him?
You know, one of the most dangerous things, particularly in power play, is when an underdog, I'll explain what I mean by that, is confronted with someone with probably a larger-than-life image. In this case, Koroma. Maada Bio has probably always been under the shadow of Koroma. Koroma is a statesman and has been demonstrated there. But Maada Bio, sometimes when you are at the mercy of somebody, you find that, particularly in power play, rather than being grateful, sometimes you find some sort of resentment. You know, it has been proven over time in history, and you find situations where it's like, okay, so I'm beholden to him for life and all that. And ideally, one would say, okay, it's payback time. But that's not what you're saying. You can see clearly that Maada Bio is trying to assert himself here and trying to get out from under that shadow of the underdog against Koroma.
It must seem like a political vendetta, but in his defense, he's saying that there was an attempted coup, and he wants former President Koroma to face the full, to face the law in terms of how this will pan out. I'd just like to ask you, because it's important that we don't presume.
You know, we may not really know. We may assume vendetta. We may not necessarily vendetta. We may assume trumped-up charges, rather. We may assume that the current president is trying to, stifle any form of opposition and assert himself. You know, we may assume all of that. But I think it is also important that there's some sort of transparency. But then again, there is a fear that, like, as has been said, that even in Sierra Leone, the judiciary is one of the powerhouses of corruption. So we're there
as
really.
As a number of African countries.
Yes. Will there really and truly be justice? In everything, you can see himself trying to assert himself.
Yeah.
That's